student. Again, this is Professor Amoles Kalekar from Department of Computer Science, CMCS, Yodhbal. In our today's session, we are going to discuss the next point in unit number 6 of subject Distributed Operating System. As we know, the title of unit number 6 is the case study of Mac, and the topic that we are going to discuss today is the memory management in Mac. So, as we know, in the previous video, we have seen this topic, that is the memory management in Mac, and within that we have just focused on the virtual memory. In our today's session, again we are discussing the same topic, that is memory management in Mac, but in today's session we will deal with the memory sharing, or you can say the concept of memory sharing. Okay, so let's start with this point, that is the memory sharing. So as we know, sharing plays an important role in Mac system. There is no special mechanism is required for the threads in a process in order to share the objects. They all see the same address space automatically. Okay, now if one of them has the access to a piece of data, then simply all of them will have the same access. More interesting is the possibility of two or more processes that are sharing the same memory object or just sharing the data pages. For that matter, okay, now sometimes sharing is important on the single CPU system, whereas on the multiprocessor systems, sharing of the objects between two or more processes is frequently even more important. In some cases, or most of the cases, a single problem is being solved by the collection of cooperating processes that are running in parallel on the different CPU or on the different machines. Now, these processes may need the access to the buffers, tables or other data structures continuously in order to just perform their task. It is quite essential that the operating system should have to allow this kind of sharing to just take place. Okay, and early version of the Unix did not have this kind of ability, just for example, although it was added later. So consider, for example, a system that analyzes the digitized satellite images of Earth in real time as they are transmitted to the ground. Such kind of analysis is time consuming, as we know. Okay, and the same picture has to be examined for use in weather forecasting, just predicting the crop harvest and just tracking the pollution. Now, as picture is received, it is stored in the file. A multiprocessor is available to do this type of analysis. Since the meteorological, architecture, agricultural and environmental program are all quite different and were written by the different people, it is not reasonable to make them thread of the same processes. Okay. Now, instead of this, each is a separate process and each maps the current photograph into its address space, as you can see in figure. मतलब ये जो तीनों डिपार्टमेंट है जिनको सैटेलाइट से इमेजेस आई है, उन डिपार्टमेंट के वर्किंग के हिसाब से उस इमेजेस का वो एनालिसिस करेंगे और एनालिसिस के बाद फ्यूचर से रिलेटेड वो कुछ ना कुछ प्रेडिक्शन करेंगे. Okay, now in this way, note that the file containing the photograph may be mapped in at the different virtual address spaces in each processes. Although each page is present in the memory only once, it may appear in each process's page map at the different places. In this manner, all three processes can work on the same file at the same interval of time as per their convenience. Okay. तो इस फिगर के जरिए ये जो तीनों डिपार्टमेंट है खुद के नजरिए से उस इमेज को या फिर उस पिक्चर को एनालाइज करेंगे. Another important use of sharing is the process creation. In Unix, In Mac, the basic way for a new process to be created is copy of an existing process. Conversely, in Unix, a copy is always a clone of the process that is running or executing the fork system call. Whereas in Mac, the child can be a clone of the different processes. Either way, the child is a copy of the same other process. Okay. Now, one way to create the child is to copy all the pages and map the copies into the child's address space. Although this method is valid, it is unnecessarily expensive. The program text is normally read-only, so it cannot change, and the parts of the data may be also read-only. There is no any reason to copy read-only pages, since mapping them into the process will just simply do your job. Writable pages cannot always be shared because the semantics of the process creation say that although at the moment of the creation the parent and the child are identical, subsequent changes to either one are not visible in the other's address spaces. In addition, some region, just for example, certain map files may not be needed in the child. So, why go to a lot of trouble to arrange for them to be present in the child's if they are not needed there? Okay. Now, to achieve this kind of various goals, Mac allows processes to assign an inheritance attribute to each region as its address space. Different regions may have different attributes. There are the values that are provided for them. Okay, now first one, the region is unused in the child process. Second, the region is shared between the prototype process and the child. And third one, the region in the child process is a copy of the prototype. In this manner, if a region has the first value, the corresponding region in the child is unallocated. References to it are treated too as the references to other unallocated memory, and they are generated traps. Okay, now the child is free to allocate the region for its own purpose or to map a memory object there. Okay. Now, the second option is true sharing. The pages of the region are present in both the prototype address space and the child. Okay, now changes that are made by either one are visible to the other as well. This choice is not used for the implementing the fork system call in the Unix, but is frequently useful for the other systems or for other purposes. Now, the third possibility is to copy all the pages in the region and map the copies into the child's address space. Fork uses this option. Actually, Mac does not really copy the pages but uses a clever trick called as copy on write instead. Okay, now it places all the necessary pages in the child's virtual memory map but makes them all read-only as you can see in the figure. As long as the child makes only read references to these pages, everything will work as per your desire or it will be fine. Okay. However, if the child attempts to write on any page, a protection fault occurs. Okay, the operating system then makes a copy of the page and maps the copy into the child's address space, simply replacing the read-only pages that was there. The new pages is marked read-only. Again, in the figure that is we can see on the next page, the child has attempted to write the page 7. Now, this action resulted in page 7 being copied to page 8 and page 8 being mapped into the address space in the place of page 7. Page 8 is marked read-only, so subsequent write do not trap. In this way, copy on write has several advantages over doing all the copying at the time the new process is created. First, some pages are read-only, so there is no need to copy them. Second advantage, the other pages may never be referenced. So even if they are potentially writable, they do not have to be copied. Okay. So this is the figure that we have discussed in the previous slide. The third advantage, still other pages may be writable, but the child did not deallocate them rather than using them. So this is the figure, that is the operation of copy on the right. First A, after the for call, all the child pages are marked read only, and B, when the child writes page 7, a copy is made. So as you can see in this figure, and the description is already provided in the earlier slide. Okay. Now, the copy on the right also has some disadvantages as well. मतलब जो advantages है उसके साथ कुछ disadvantages भी है. For one thing, the administration is more complicated as the system must keep the track of the fact that some pages are genuinely read-only, with a write being a programming error. Okay, whereas other pages are to be copied if written. For another, copy on the right requires multiple kernel traps, one for each page that is ultimately written. Depending on the hardware, one kernel trap followed by a multi-page copy may not be that much more expensive than multiple kernel traps, each followed by one page copy. And finally, copy on the write does not work over a network. Physically, transport is always required. Okay, so dear students, these are some of the points as far as the memory sharing or memory management in Mac is concerned, and within that how the memory is shared among the threads and the processes. Okay, thank you.